Hello everyone, welcome back. We're gonna go ahead and jump right into it and find out how the hell this is all gonna go down, because it's gonna be crazy. Let's look at all those failures on there. Let's go and unmute Discord, find out what's going on. Hello?
Hello.
You know, y'all are real good about like not yelling about penises or anything when I come back from breaks and when I start streams and stuff. I appreciate that, guys.
You actually just missed that.
I know, but I appreciate that like it stopped before I unmute everything. It's real cool.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. So, is everybody here, or are we just gonna jump to different party members? Because I think finally the party's about to be reunited.
I think Will is missing still.
I'm here.
Will I am. That's okay. He's just doing weird biological tests on some weird dude that they tried to be a stowaway on your ship.
He's not weird.
Which he's, I mean...
What are you talking about? He's the weirdest.
Like, by pure definition...
Guys, you know this. I get attached to random characters, and
Maybe
now
you give him
it's
your
a
collar.
problem.
Right, so like by pure definition he's not weird, or what?
No, if history is any indication, that just means he's dead.
Yep.
Stop it.
Once you get too
Stop it
weird,
right now.
it's just game over for you. Anyway.
Go gets attached, or you get too weird. Both are death sentences.
It's true. Megan has been attached to many characters that I've killed, so it's perfect.
Which leads me to believe what happened to John was that Gogo was probably involved in the relationship.
Yeah, probably involved with the relationship with John.
They were dating.
That's why he died.
Oh my god, that relationship would have been ridiculous.
Oh god, could you imagine? Boomer's basically like John, but with manners. So it's just like you upgraded basically.
I have a type, apparently.
Apparently, yeah. Anyway, since we were just kind of stalling for Will to get back
Is
anyway.
Sean Bean the type?
Anyway, so let's jump back into it here. Will is currently conducting his tests on his human test subject that he now has acquired. So you guys show up at the ship, and I think when you show up at the ship, I think that you hear in front of you, like the Fortune, you hear Victor, you hear him curse. He's like, "What the shit is this? This your ship?" And he like turns over and looks at Fortune. Like he's in shock that you're flying basically a junker cargo freighter. It's kind of like the first time people see the Millennium Falcon in Star Wars.
Yeah. I'd be like, hey, don't complain about what's about to get you off planet.
He goes, "I'm surprised this thing fly in orbit."
I don't fly it.
He goes, "That's probably good. Probably need pilot of sufficient skill to fly something this shitty."
More like mechanic of sufficient skill.
He's like, "Yes, it's true." And so, Oscar, you like go up and you like verify, like you tap your credentials or do your palm thingy print, whatever. Somehow that you verify that the ship ramp opens. So Gogo and Boomer, you're sitting in the med bay, right? And you hear like the ship ramp open, and you know that your friends are back. Do you have a moment of like, how do we explain this?
I guess that
we
depends
know.
who you're.
We both now have a stowaway.
Yeah.
Right,
Which party are you even asking that
Right,
question?
so I think that's the thing, right? Like, you guys, like, come up on the ship, and you hear the clomping of boots, and, like, Gogo, are you still do you meet them in the med bay?
Oh yeah, I went back, and I was just waiting there.
Sure.
Probably going to tend to his neck eventually.
So you see them, like, walk around the corner or whatever from the ramp, and you see that they have this like, individual. He's probably, if we were scaling human beauty on a 1 out of 10, he's maybe like a 7. So he's like, he's pretty good looking, but he's no movie star. And
so the very first thing Oscar says is prisoner, taking him to a holding cell.
Right, yeah, and I think that Boomer's probably like hunched over like an operating table, and you see like there's a figure like lying there completely naked, It's a human male. That guy I described earlier with the shaved head.
Oscar is completely uninterested in the naked human on the table.
I think me and Gogo, like when around the corner, me and Gogo probably say the same thing at the same time. Like, so we have a stowaway. Wait, what?
Right, yeah.
Yep, exactly. And then we're just like, oh, well, okay. Just like carry on.
Yeah, Oscar continues marching him down to one of the storage units.
Sure, yeah. There's those really tiny rooms. I'll move everybody to the ship so just we can get a good view of what's going on here. Yeah, so in the med bay, Boomer and actually let me just kill Giorgio real quick.
Oh God, what?
You guys decided he doesn't matter.
And maybe get rid of Natalia.
Oh, is she still on here too?
Yeah, she's right here.
Yeah, still got her in one of my goals. Would be good if we could wrap that up at some point.
Yeah. It's no problem. So Boomer and Gogo are in the med bay, like operating on their stowaway, and you guys go plant the pirate guy. I think I just named him Pirate. Is that true? It totally is not true. I named him Boss, I think. Yeah, there he is. Alright, cool. So you guys have what's-his-face, and just pretend like he doesn't actually have a shotgun anymore. But you have, like, these rooms over here that you can, like, seal from the outside for sure.
Well, that one's Fortune's room, so...
Right. So one of these two in the middle.
Yep.
You can't discern it from a prison cell, but it is his room.
I mean,
yeah, pretty much.
It's basically a prison cell.
That's how I like my room. Plain.
Cool, yeah. So you plop him down in there, and
I would like when I do that, like, is it worth doing another check of this individual, or am I just getting myself into trouble by suggesting he may have other items that?
No, I mean, I would assume, like, he's being cooperative, and you would definitely have, like, done a thorough pat down and found nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Like, it's inconceivable that Oscar would not have checked this guy out before he brought him on the ship.
He's not gonna have a fucking bobby pin in his butt and somehow MacGyver the shit out of the door.
Right. Oscar knows every square inch of his lower intestine. There are no bobby pins. Sure. There's no, like...
Yeah, he's cooperative. He was cooperative with the search, and he has nothing on him. I will tell you that.
Did he enjoy it?
No, he did not.
Okay.
Only because it was
good.
Another situation he may have. Who knows? So you do the search, and so what is you guys are back on the ship, and you briefly mentioned that you each have people. Is there any more explanation beyond that? Like, is there a meeting? Like, hey,
yeah.
I mean, because also Gogo, you would have like Oscar's fucked up. Like, he's got like a big wound, like, and juices that have run out of his, his exoskeleton onto his clothing.
I would probably after I figured out that we both have a stowaway, I'd probably say we need to leave now to Gogo.
Where is our destination?
707, please. Briefly, it should only take an hour.
Gogo didn't even ask any other further questions. She just left.
Yeah. So probably by that point, Oscar has lumbered over within earshot, and he just interjects, funds are necessary. Like, we should probably not go anywhere before we have a wire transfer.
So you want to get the guy to give you a wire transfer before?
He's trying to bring us to a pirate planet. It's entirely possible that they're just going to shut us down. Yeah. So I didn't say
Well,
he's trying to bring
my
us
idea was he gives us money when we get there, or we jettison him into space or into orbit, and then we
Right.
leave.
So he has liquid on him now, right? Like he could give you at least most of the payment, but you guys agreed to get like the full rest of the payment if you get him off world.
Yeah, we agreed to 4,000 with transport, and he said he couldn't give us 4,000.
Right, until he got to that location. He can totally
Yeah.
give you like half up front and then half when he gets
You,
there.
you know what? At this point, so yeah, Oscar, maybe there's some like argument about how this should be handled, and then Oscar just looks down at his side, and there's like some pale blue ooze coming out of his suit, and he just says, "Never mind," and walks toward the medbay.
Sure.
He's like, this isn't worth arguing right now. I don't want to die.
Yeah, so he starts like shuffling over toward the medbay and just like maybe like waves like a little somewhat dismissively like, oh, okay, fine, and then exits.
Yeah. Cool.
Which probably does. I mean, Fortune probably goes, oh yeah. I was probably so concerned about the fact that they have a stowaway and we have a stowaway and just wanted to get off the planet.
There's a bunch of weird shit going on, right? Like
Yeah.
y'all
Money wasn't
y'all probably need to have a conversation about
how to get the money.
did Boomer and Gogo bring some contagious disease on board, and or is this pirate prince going to, kill you all? And
Yeah.
why do you have him, and why are we not, because no one else knew anything about your mission, right? Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, there's probably a meeting that needs to be had between the group. Are you back, Boomer?
I'm back. Sorry, took a little bit longer than I thought.
No, it's no problem.
Okay, but I would like to get into orbit first. So
Right. So Boomer, let me lay it out if you missed it. What's currently happening now is you're like operating on this guy, and Gogo and Fortune and Oscar come back, and they also have a stowaway who's the prince or whatever. They captured the pirate guy, and you guys kind of like looked at each other and you're like, huh. And then Fortune told Gogo, we need to leave like yesterday, and Gogo went to start the engines and get everything prepared. And now he's in like the med bay, like with you, operating on the man, or like because you were still like doing tests and doing the disinfecting thing and whatever.
Whoa. If we're leaving right now, we're throwing this one off. Kind of gesturing towards the infectious disease.
Right, you see like the weird blotchy stuff, and
I refuse to have anything on this ship that is not Boomer made that could kill us all.
yeah. So again, maybe all of you have a flashback to what Giorgio would think, and probably be like telling you to get the hell off, all of you to get the hell off the ship until he figures something out, because now you're all infected. But luckily he's not here.
I'd be like, well, that's on you. If he needs to get off, he needs to get off. I'm not going to stop you.
All right, how through with the decontamination process is it?
Yeah, it's been some time. You've like done a decontaminated, run some scans. The scans and stuff and the tests that the preliminary stuff hasn't detected anything. At least that can be detected by your equipment in an hour.
Oh, okay. This is one aspect of Boomer's personality I'm not very proud of.
And I think that if you look at the readout of the decontamination thing, it probably just gives you a bunch of like typical things that a decontaminated, like, the basically whatever's contaminant on the planet itself, like the dust or microbials that are in the fauna or whatever. that's all it gives you, that it's decontaminated. It doesn't give you anything interesting.
I'm in the med bay now, right?
Yeah,
like,
you shuffled over
okay,
because you're dying, basically.
Yeah. So
okay,
here's I mean, I hate to interrupt, but I think this is when it would need to happen. I think what happens is Oscar just, when he gets into the med bay, he like pops two little clasps on the side of his armor, and the front just falls off on the ground.
Cling, cling, cling.
And he continues walking over to like maybe where there's some sterile gauze, and starts cramming it in a little knife wound in his side.
Yeah.
And he looks over at the guy on the table, and would I notice that his neck is all effed
He's
up?
completely as if the day he was born. You would notice
Okay.
everything about him.
So, and we, perhaps less than an hour ago, were told, oh yeah, these guys die if they don't have a collar on.
Yep.
Oscar,
Exactly.
perhaps as blasé as that, as he's like jamming gauze into his side, just looks over at Boomer and says, he will need a collar, or we will have to, he's going to die, you know.
Okay, out of character. I regret that everyone is going to have to see this aspect of this character. In character,
Sure.
Boomer pops open the decontamination chamber, and still with gloved hands, while this guy is butt naked, grabs him by the back of the neck and pretty much tosses him out of the access of the ship.
There's absolutely no way Margot would let you do
Yeah,
that.
so Go-Go, you probably like, you're like flicking switches, and you see on like the internal cameras, you see Boomer basically dragging this guy butt naked towards the access hatches.
There,
Yeah, I would absolutely override that. Like, there's absolutely no way that I would let him.
You, like,
there
open
are
that hatch.
systems in place to determine if you prevent him from
I know.
doing
I'm
so.
just saying that's what my character would be doing.
Yeah, no, I think that like you can like try and lock it, and Boomer, like if you get to the access hatch or if you start running over there, like what would be your first reaction, Go-Go, if you see Boomer, who's clearly like he's done with this thing and he's going to throw it away?
Oh, I would absolutely like. I mean, I know that. Would I be able to? I wouldn't be able to run there fast enough,
Probably
or
not,
at least
no.
yeah. So I'd be trying to do anything I could just from where I'm at to lock the door, to override the
Sure.
the whole system to just try to make
Yeah,
it not
like,
happen.
he
But then over comms, I would say like, Boomer, don't you dare.
That's probably more effective than shutting the door.
Sure. So Boomer, you hear
Well, he doesn't have the collar on
Simultaneously, these
yet.
two things are
you
happening.
hear like the internal comms, and like you get to the access hatch, and you hear the
Boomer!
like you can manually override it. It's going to take a few minutes, like not a minute, but it's going to take a few seconds to manually override it. But like she's locked the hatch and yelled at you through the intercom.
Is the ship like already gearing to take off? Like
no,
we're already in
the startup
pre-flight?
procedures take at least an hour, maybe a little bit less, because like the engines, the drive has to warm up, and like there's a lot of shit that goes on. It's like trying to take a plane off, which if you've ever been in a plane, that takes a while too.
Oh my god. Yeah.
And this
Recently.
is,
All right,
this is far
all right.
more advanced than a plane.
All right, fine. Dragging him back to the med bay,
So, yeah,
putting him back in the decontamination
Oscar and
chamber.
Fortune are just standing there like,
We're like, what just happened?
Boomer is not gentle. Like with the back of this guy's neck, he just kind of like flings him back onto the table.
yeah, and I think that like when you like show your intent, like when you show your intent and like you tell him, like you slap your fake Pit Boy a few times and like translate the whole like I go back on the table. He quietly, he hasn't resisted at all. Quietly, he just climbs back on the table and lies completely flat back again as you had him before.
Okay, at that point, can I go over and tech med Oscar?
Sure, yeah. Tech Medical here is going to help you identify what's wrong with him, which we all know what's wrong with him.
It may be fairly obvious what's wrong with Oscar right now.
Right, yeah. It would require the use of like a med kit or something, which this place doesn't have med kits. It just allows you to heal faster naturally. It's essentially the equivalent of how this works. But yeah, you could totally like go over there and like help him not just shove gauze into his thorax.
I'm helping him in a better way.
You like look at it and you just like start to pull out the thorax gauze and like actually wrap it appropriately and stuff it with appropriate materials.
I feel like I was accurately role-playing Oscar's medical knowledge.
I agree with you 100%. That's how you would do it.
Let's just stop this from leaking. Shove things in it.
Yeah, he was losing fluids and he packed the hole.
Yep, absolutely.
I think that Margot would see this happening and be like, son of a... and like flip a few more switches to try to like get things going. And then I think she would walk down to the med bay, throw the med kit at the two of them. And then in the same way that she commanded him to follow before, tell the other guy to follow her. And she would grab Boomer's clothes on the way out.
Yeah, because you know the phrase, follow me, right? Like you've ingrained that now. Yeah, so he gets up and completely naked and
I throw the clothes at him.
he says the word, and I think the Boomer and Gogo, you identify the word overseer now in his language, and like it's a greeting. It's like a very deferential statement, like as you wish, overseer, and he begins to follow.
So I'm probably sitting in a chair in the med bay like, fuck is going on?
You thought you guys had some weird shit going on with the whole pirate.
Yeah.
No, when Gogo leaves the room and the door closes and they're alone there for a moment, stuffing his thorax with gauze.
Yeah.
We're never going to hear the end of her love slave at the end of this.
So I'd be like, why were you going to throw him off the ship?
Well, did you want us to get a kidnapping rap from here? I mean, I'd like for us to be welcome to come back to almost any planet we visit.
Oscar just chimes in, oh, we're well ahead of you on the kidnapping.
I'd be like, yeah, we're not welcome back here anyways.
Well, if we're going to kidnap someone, can we kidnap someone more useful than just that? Like, gesturing vaguely towards the cockpit.
My guy's making us money.
By the way, Fortune, what's our take on this?
I will remind you as well. Boomer has no idea what the guy told you in the sewer area.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Gordon cut out. What did you say?
Yeah.
I said, Boomer, you have no idea what the Russian guy told you in the sewers. What Victor told them in the sewers about like how the government is enslaving them with Maltech.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Oh, it was mostly for Oscar and Fortune if they wanted to like divulge that information to you.
I think in time.
Yeah, I don't think
that's
I would have
gonna like. There's gonna be a meeting once Oscar has been plugged.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I think most of the information is waiting to come out until after we get off planet.
Yeah, I that sounds great.
So I think now we're just kind of all in a very anxious waiting for the ship to take off the stage.
Yeah.
So
I think also at this point, like, Oscar actually takes his mask off because he's like on this table, he's already like taking his armor off.
Right.
And I'm gonna put in chat in the Olympus, the Discord chat. Like maybe this catches you guys off guard.
Your face? What your face
Yeah.
looks like? Yeah, do it. I'll show it to everyone as well.
also, after I found out that once Boomer got the med kit and he's helping, and then this random guy just followed Gogo with some random words that I don't understand, I probably would have followed that guy and Gogo.
Yeah.
What the fuck's going on here? So you're probably taking your mask off for Boomer alone at this point.
He's not taking it off for anybody in particular.
Well,
He's
yeah,
like
but
having
I
trouble.
mean, Boomer's probably the only person there to see it. What I mean.
Yeah. He's probably having a considerable amount of difficulty breathing. What with the chest wound.
Yeah.
So yeah, he just like puts it on, pops it off, puts it on the cot, I suppose, whatever he happens to be laying on.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so you guys all see his face. No, they didn't bring back anything but the weapons, the assault or the combat rifle and the combat shotgun and the monoblade cutlass.
I made one request for a uniform. I just
You
made
didn't.
one request.
You didn't make the request to the characters.
It's true. It's very true.
That is true. Okay. At this moment, Boomer would just kind of be stunned and just kind of like look at Oscar for a moment.
Has Boomer ever been around other Striek?
Yeah, because
Or is he
Oscar is
what the fuck is that?
Yeah, Oscar is somewhat unique in the fact that he wears a mask all the time. Other Striek generally don't wear that.
Boomer's background is very human-oriented. He hasn't had much interaction with the other alien cultures, except for when Oscar actually came to him. It's like, hey, find out information about this. And he started learning more about the Skriak that way.
Oh yeah, that's right. You
So
totally saw that picture of that girl. I forgot about that.
Yep. So I mean, actually seeing it in person, I mean, Boomer just kind of stunned for a moment, and just kind of, Oscar, can I? Okay, it's not that I want to study you. It's just I want to study you.
He.
And I do want to point out, he in no way has any type of dissection tools or anything like that. It's just more of that genuine, you see that unfiltered scientific, just I want to know, learn.
Okay, so Boomer isn't brandishing a scalpel at Oscar. He's just kind of paused in dealing with the wound.
It's like one hand has he's still wearing gloves, and one hand has the gauze in it, while the other's still wrapping it around your chest and your thorax, and he's just blankly looking up at your face now, just yeah, study.
Yeah, Oscar says, perhaps we can discuss that another time. And
it's about that time Boomer realizes that Oscar's half naked.
Yeah, so it's probably weird that you can actually see his face and can tell that he's not just short-circuited, but he's trying to think of the words to say it, and then he just says, "This hurts like a son of a bitch," and then. And that's it. That's all he said.
All right, Jordan, would you like a tech med roll of some kind to assist him with his healing?
You're actually going to use up the med kit and heal him?
If he has shared that he is in that much pain, yes, Boomer would do what he can to heal him.
Yeah, so you'll use up the med kit and roll a tech med roll, and based on your roll will determine how much health he's going to, or what you roll for how much health he gets back. Yeah, cool. So he can actually get the full 2d6 back. So roll 2d6, which I think will probably bring him up to full, almost certainly.
Hey, I got the 12 at a penalty earlier. Also, that does do it. Puts me precisely 6.
Yeah.
I used up
6 hit points. So.
I used up all my luck earlier.
That's true.
But
yeah.
Okay, so Boomer does if not a bang up, a perfectly adequate job of healing Oscar.
It's sore, right? You're still sore, but it will definitely heal over time, and ostensibly for the next time you have to do anything, you'll be at full health. Cool.
It's probably that that Boomer just doesn't quite grasp how to deal with a carapace.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's
Like, yeah.
It's probably what it probably shows to you, Oscar, that like he's a quick learner, right? Like you maybe have to guide him through like where some of your internal organs are and why they're need to be moved out of the way to not fall out of your body or whatever. But like he picks it up pretty quickly and is, even with a 3, is able to heal you up to full health.
Yeah.
Cool.
So,
Awesome.
I think the very last thing after Boomer finishes up, Oscar just says, will that be enough study for now?
For now. But after class, there will be another lecture.
Sure.
Yeah, he nods and starts putting his armor back on. Like maybe he pops the mask back on and like just collects the chest piece with the hole in it and starts shambling off to his quarters.
Yep. Cool. We'll cut back over to the other two, Fortune and Gogo. Are you guys? Do you go to the cockpit, Gogo, with individual number 1, which I will get him a token here real quick.
I would have had him. Yeah, I would have had him follow me back to the pilot chair, and then I would have just continued getting us the hell out of here.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. So after X period of time, does anyone go and address Victor, who's currently sitting in the holding cell, or you just leave him there for now?
I'm probably just going to leave him there for right now.
Okay, yeah. So you get everything kind of set up. I don't want that one, actually. We'll find a better one. Let's get him a token. Yeah, this will work. Oh, there he is. So he's sitting on the bench, kind of just hanging out, and eventually you get everything like powered up, and you begin the takeoff sequence. Like you slowly rise up, and the landing gear comes up, and you begin to you make the turn, and you begin to take off like towards orbit, and I think that as you're breaking into orbit, Gogo or Fortune, you're at the comms console because you usually are.
Yeah.
There's a pop-up like a warning, and there's a hail message followed behind it. And so you click it open, right?
I'm debating that because I'll open it because I don't know we've been spotted yet.
Yeah, you don't know that you were spotted.
Yeah, look, what the hell's this?
Right, it's a hail message from the government of Paphos, and it says, "Attention cargo freighter, identified as Westwind Corporation. Please cease and desist your travel and await to be boarded."
That was just like an automated message.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it repeats the message. And you can also see that, like, if you look, you can see that there's a ship approaching you, like approaching your position.
Okay. So So I'd probably look over at Gogo because she'd know the ship better than I would. I'd be like, "Is there a stowaway place on this ship?"
We could make one. And I just kind of like look over at him.
We should probably do that quickly.
Yeah. Now, I will remind you, like, your ship is outfitted to get out of situations that involve, like, combat in space. Like, it's specifically designed to basically evade and destroy pirates. That's kind of what it was designed for by Westwind. So, I will say to you, the option always is there to just try and get the hell away. That's totally a thing you guys can do.
What is this type of ship again? The one that...
It's the Apollo class.
No, not ours. The one that is asking to board us.
It seems like just a typical in-system like what's the word I'm looking for?
Okay.
Horseman.
Then my
It's like you would you would know it's probably just like a tracking ship.
Okay, so it's not anything that
You're not being tracked down by
Okay.
like an Imperial fucking cruiser or anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then in that case, I would have looked at the ship and been like, "Are we ready to jump yet?"
Well,
To
in order
go.
to jump in Stars Without Number, you got to be outside the system.
How?
In order to drive into drill space, you have to actually exit the system. So it's like you can either try and run away, you can totally like find a hideaway and let them board you, but no telling what that is, like what that entails, right? Because again, you don't know that the camera spotted you.
Yeah.
But or you could just shoot them with your giant ass gun and run away. Or you have lasers. But that's totally up to you guys. I'm not trying to like force you guys to do anything, but I'm just letting you know that like you have options available. You don't have to let this guy board you if you don't want to.
Yeah, I don't feel like shooting at anybody. I don't think it's that necessary yet. But I'd be like, Go, you think you can get away?
Oh man, I just smile at him and I just continue on my normal routine.
I'd probably get on the comms console like over the ship, and I'd be like, find a place to strap in. Over the shipboard comms.
Yeah, so Oscar and Boomer, you guys have a moment where you look at each other, and what do you do?
This is nothing out of the ordinary.
Sure, yeah. You just assume Gogo's going to go crazy. Sure.
Right. Like Oscar has no. Again, he wasn't present for this, so he just thinks that this is run of the mill. Like he had no part in deciding this particular course of action.
He just thinks we're getting ready to jump like normal. He doesn't know we're about to do like evasive maneuvers and then jump.
Absolutely. So he maybe just, maybe he like goes to the meeting room because maybe they have good seat belts in there or something, and he takes out his comm pad and he's like, his mind is elsewhere.
Sure. Yeah. You're still a little bit sore and like figuring out a way to walk that doesn't hurt. Fighter.
Boomer.
That's the name I was looking for. That's what they're called in this world. Your ship is a cruiser size ship or a frigate size ship, and this is a fighter size ship approaching you.
Okay.
Which is like the step below.
Boomer is exactly of the same opinion as Oscar. The only difference is that he's going to retire to his own room, and he's working on software upgrades for the Horizon.
Okay, cool. Cool. So let's talk a moment about how this type of thing works, because we've never dealt with this yet in game. So let's talk for a moment. We are using the secondary rules, the Skyward Steel supplement, which actually has like roles for individuals in. I'm not going to call it combat because you guys are going to attempt to evade, which you can totally do. But if you guys go to the ship combat section, even though it says combat, there are different jobs that one can perform. So everyone that is doing a task can take one of these jobs for their turn, and they're assigned crew points. Okay, and you're assigned crew points based on your skills, and it is based on. Let me see here. Number of crew points equal to the command's cost or subtract from the ship's total or double the amount. Blah 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 blah. Where's the track? Yeah. To determine the ship's crew points, you add the crew's highest available skill levels for athletics. So, who's got a high athletic skill, and how much do you have?
I have a decent athletic skill. Hooray!
Is it a 1?
Let me double check. I don't think so. I think it's a 0.
Okay. Well, 0 is better than everybody having a -1, because then you'll lose a crew point.
Yeah, my athletics is 0.
Okay. All right. Does anybody have a 1 in athletics?
Negative.
Okay. Combat gunnery. Go. Do you have what's your skill in combat gunnery?
I have a 1.
Okay, so that's 1 crew point. So we'll put that up there. You guys get 1. I'll just move these tokens for a second. So you get 1 crew point. Congratulations. Computer culture. Computers. So who's got the highest computer skill? I think it's Boomer, right? What's your computer skill at, Boomer?
1.
Okay, you get another crew point. And then culture spacer. Who's got a high culture spacer?
Got a 0.
I have a 0.
Okay.
I have a 0.
Okay, so at least you don't lose 1. Who's got a high exosuit training?
0.
That's probably gonna be the highest.
I'm sorry, what was it?
Too.
Exosuit.
Yep, 0. I have -1.
Who's got
Sorry.
leadership?
I certainly don't.
I
Crickets.
have -1. Yeah,
Everybody have a -1?
Yep.
I think so.
Okay. Actually, I forgot. I realize, and this is my
Actually,
if you have you don't lose one, you just will not get one. That's how it works.
so if it's a 1 or a 0, you don't get a point.
No, if it's a 1, you get 1 point in it. You get 1.
No, sorry. If it's a -1 or a 0, you don't get.
Correct.
Okay, so it doesn't do you any benefit to have a 0 over a -1.
That is correct.
Okay, never mind then.
All right. Navigation. Go. You got some navigation, right? You have a 1 in it?
Yeah.
Cool. That's another crew point for you guys. Tech astronautics. That's, I think, a boomer call.
0.
Only a 0 astronautics? Ugh. And tactics. I think that's a
1.
Okay.
1.
Get another one. Cool. And vehicle space. That's you, isn't it, Go-Go?
I also have a 1.
Okay, cool. Now, actually, I just actually read here, and that's my bad. You get a 1 for each thing, and then you get if it's above. Wait, hold on. Okay, I'm sorry. You double the crew point total. Sorry, that's wrong. So you guys have 5 total points. So you will get a total of 10 crew points. That's how that works.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and move them down here. Let's go ahead and Control C, Control V. Can I please copy this? Oh, I'm using the wrong account. I always do that. All right. Control C and paste. Cool. Awesome. So you guys have 10 crew points. So if you open up that thing, it tells you what you can spend your crew points on. Now, you guys, I'm not gonna use initiative. You guys totally just get to go first. Just for an example, I'll pull up some things here so you guys can see it. So the pilot has some things they can do. How this works is each person on the PC crew will tell me what they're doing. And you can see on here that you have different commands. Wherever that command box in the bottom of the thing, you can regain your crew points. You can spend them to use those commands. So, for example, for the pilot, if you wanted to trim the course, forces the ship into higher drill shear than its drive is technically spec'd for, increasing its speed by 1 for the round. Probably something you might want to look into. But in order to use that on a turn, you have to spend 2 command points, and it is a difficulty 6. Now, you'll see it also says if you can also put the ship on autopilot, giving it a -2 AC penalty. And someone with a vehicle space of 0 has to take over. And command skill checks for this department rely on intelligence or dexterity and the vehicle space skill. So you're going to be rolling vehicle space against the difficulty that it states in the commands. So Go-Go, that's probably you. Probably want to look at the pilot one pretty closely. But for you, Fortune, since you're also involved and the other 2 aren't currently, the captain one can allow you to do some cool things. Like, for example, full engines. It costs 0, but you route surplus supply to the engine department. If you succeed on a wisdom tactics roll, the cost of any engineering department command made that turn is reduced by 2 crew points, subtracted after the department makes their skill check. So it kind of actually relies on other people to be involved to do that. But what you could do is you could run to the back of the ship and do the engineering and do the more power to engines, right? But it requires a tech astronautics intelligence skill, so you may not be the best at that.
So what you're saying is I should tell Boomer to go to the back of the ship.
Right. So do you say buckle up, and you look at Go-Go and you're like, punch it. So yeah, now would be the opportunity before anything happens to let the crew actually know what's going on so they can assist with it.
Yeah, I now that I know how things work, I'm going to
I explained it before we got too in depth there.
Retroactively change what I'm going to say and all crew to battle stations, pretty much.
You hit the red alert button.
Yeah, get to where you're best at.
Right.
So Boomer probably goes to the
red
engine.
alert button. what do the two of you do that are like strapped in? Like Boomer's chilling, like reading a book on his bed, and Oscar's like lounging back in the med bay. And Fortune calls out battle stations.
Boomer's first reaction is, "We have battle stations?"
Yeah, you probably haven't been flying in many dangerous sectors that require battle stations.
After that moment of confusion, he's gonna immediately make sure that this still is okay.
All right, so you're going back, like making sure all the hooch is out. Oscar, you hear that? What do you do?
He would go immediately up to the bridge.
Sure, yeah. So, and like I said, you guys have like a moment, right, to like get situated because you're making the first move here. So you can wait. You know, he's gonna approximately start. If you guys are gonna attempt to evade him, he's gonna approximately start around the same location as he would now, or you know, because you guys are just like kind of sitting in space right now. You're not really like doing anything. So he's assuming you're complying, or they.
Okay.
So, now that we're activated, I'm assuming that when you get to the bridge, Oscar, you ask some questions.
Oscar is very curious what's going on right now.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, you info dump like, hey, we were
So,
hailed.
yeah.
I'm not liking it because it's actually like it's a military ship that's approaching you. It's not like a civilian. It's not like a government agency ship. It's a military fighter that's approaching your ship. Like,
Right.
it's
So
extensively understood that like they're not here to like just do a customs check.
right.
Yeah. And I
Oscar
probably
would
wouldn't have to explain why that's bad. Oscar would know who we have in storage.
Right.
Well, two
Plus,
people, right? Because it's not only just the pirate guy. Like,
yeah.
True.
You also have a refugee.
Oscar would probably know that better than me. I didn't really look at the guy.
He's
So
sitting on the bench behind you.
I'm paying no mind to him. He doesn't exist to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, Oscar would immediately recognize that is the type of ship. Like,
yeah. No, it says it. Like,
Yeah.
like the preliminary scans like show you that it's a fighter. It's equipped with some basic weaponry. Like, the main advantage to fighters is they're quick and maneuverable, right? They're essentially dexterity tanks. They don't, if you hit them, they're dead. But they're highly maneuverable, so they're good against larger ships who don't have the ability to target them. But you're not that large of a ship, so.
mm-hmm. Yeah, Oscar. So, I mean, if he gets filled in, he would just, I guess, whatever the hold action equivalent, because I mean, Oscar here he's not a gunner. He's not like the only way that he could be useful here is in a tactical sense. Like,
yeah.
he's
or damage control, right? Because the boatswain ability uses athletic constitution skill checks, which is probably something you're decent at.
Oh, sure. Well, fill me in on that. Where is this? I'm sorry.
So
I
in
think I got a page behind.
Yeah, no, it's fine. In the side panel, if you open up the ship combat tree, it has all of the different jobs that can be performed on the ship. See that?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And so how it works is at the beginning of the PC action, everybody will tell me what they want to do. You guys can talk it over, tell me what you want to do, and then we'll act out what you want to do. You'll roll your difficulties, etc., and then the enemies get to go, basically. So like the boatswain, for example, you could do the lances up. You bolt hole patches in places with quick burning ephemeral lances. One hit an enemy does during round does half damage rounded up after subtracting armor. So like you could reinforce just in case they start shooting at you, and you'll see in the little blip that takes athletic constitution checks. Yeah, and then there's obviously like gunnery chief or like for example, if you had the tactics roll is actually used for the captain position. So
yeah, I was just gonna say
you would probably be really good at the captain position.
Yeah, because if it's a physical effect.
Yep.
That is, even though I have a Constitution bonus,
Yeah,
my
so-
Phys effect save is absolutely god awful.
Right, yeah. So the captain position, it depends on what you want to do, but for example, evasive maneuvers is a wisdom tactics check. And you
Yeah,
So-
that's what I'm looking at.
So maybe
And also full engines, which is also
Yeah.
And so is full engines is wisdom tactics.
So you're really
Yeah.
good at the captain position.
maybe Oscar just like so Fortune info dumps, and then Oscar just like straightens up and like marches up to the like whatever control panels are next to Gogo and
Yeah.
just awaits the
Sure. Yeah. So take a minute to like look them over, and
Yeah.
like talk amongst yourselves, like what you think you're gonna do based on these commands. Because again, we're gonna go real slow because it's the first time we're dealing with this, and I want to make sure everybody gets it right because it actually is pretty cool, like doing all the different commands and stuff. So